On January 20th, 2025, President Donald Trump ordered an immediate halt to USAID's operations, citing wasteful spending and mismanagement. The agency's workforce has been reduced to just 294 employees, leaving thousands without jobs and aid programs around the world in limbo. The White House claims the agency was funding unnecessary and politically driven initiatives, pointing to projects such as diversity and inclusion programs in Serbia, $1.5 million, a transgender opera in Colombia, gender-related projects in Peru, Guatemala and Ireland, electric vehicle development in Vietnam, $2.5 million, tourism subsidies in Egypt, $6 million. Critics argue these allocations diverted USAID from its primary mission of humanitarian aid and development. While legal battles play out in Washington, international reactions to the USAID shutdown are growing. Georgia, the ruling Georgian Dream Party, has accused USAID, alongside the US Embassy and EU-backed NGOs, of coordinated interference in Georgia's internal affairs. Officials claim that USAID has funded civil society groups with the aim of influencing political discourse, drawing parallels to previous accusations against Western-backed institutions. The government appears to be welcoming Trump's approach, expecting a shift in US foreign policy that would cut NGO influence in the country. Kazakhstan, the country's parliament, is calling for an official investigation into USAID's activities, citing concerns over foreign influence and social engineering. Lawmakers have singled out USAID's $2 million funding to ILGA Europe, an LGBTQ+ advocacy group, as an example of outside interference in domestic policy. The push for an inquiry aligns with broader concerns about Western influence in Central Asia and follows similar criticisms from Russia and China. Azerbaijan. USAID has long been suspected of funding media and civil society organizations with the intent of shaping political narratives. Reports suggest that since 2012, the agency has financed over 6,200 journalists and 707 media outlets globally, raising questions about its role in international media campaigns. During the Second Karabakh War of 2020, Azerbaijan accused USAID-backed organizations of amplifying anti-Azerbaijani narratives. More recently, officials have linked USAID-funded initiatives to international criticism surrounding the 29th Conference of the Parties and environmental protests along the Lachin Road. Hungary. The Trump administration's cuts to USAID have received strong backing from Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. His government has announced plans to eliminate foreign-funded NGOs and media outlets, calling them tools of external interference. Hungary has also established a sovereignty protection office to investigate organizations suspected of foreign influence. Meanwhile, Hungarian Foreign Minister openly supported Trump's suspension of USAID payments, stating the agency had been used to destabilize other countries and promote programs alien to national values. The irony surrounding USAID's situation has not gone unnoticed. For decades, the agency advocated for democracy, transparency, and accountability abroad. Now, it finds itself accused of financial mismanagement and political bias. With the agency's fate hanging in the balance, analysts say the outcome could redefine the future of US foreign aid. If USAID survives, it will likely be a shell of its former self. If dismantled entirely, it will mark the end of an era for America's soft power strategy. One thing is clear: for an agency that spent decades shaping international politics, it has now become the story itself.